So, I finally beat the game, or the story anyway, and I want to give a proper review to this game. Which saddens me because the truth of the matter is, this game would be absolutely perfect if Guillermo Broche had treated his players with a little more respect. This game is a 10 out of 10 if you only play the story. But the moment you try to do any optional content, like any optional content at all, or any of the post-game bosses, this game will quickly become a 3 to 4 out of 10 for you because the bosses are just not balanced. They have attacks where even if you stun them, they'll get multiple turns when their turn comes around. So, like, you can have 3 things of stun on them, and they'll still get 4 more turns later. Because every time an enemy gets a turn, they get to act twice. But I only get to act once per each of my turns. So, you just have horrible, god-awful bosses. Like, and spoiler warning, spoilers, the Simon boss fight is a complete joke of game design. Yzmat from Final Fantasy XII was a more well-designed boss fight than Simon, because at least Yzmat didn't just Thanos snap your entire party for winning too fast. Yeah, no, you can genuinely, like, if you do too much damage to him, he'll just Thanos snap your whole party out of existence and then send in your reserve team and just slaughter them because he also has the highest speed stat in the game and gets multiple turns per turn. So I try to give it slack because he's supposed to be a super boss, like an optional secret boss, but this is a JRPG. There should be no obstacle that I cannot get through by grinding. And there should not be enemies that stand up to a max level party like that. I don't mind a challenge, but this isn't the post game and the optional bosses aren't challenging or respectful of your time. They're just garbage. I mean, and I know for a fact that Guillermo Broche, the head dev, did this on purpose to piss off his players and troll them. Because when asked in an interview about why he put these god-awful things in the game, he smiled. He was like, yeah, I had so much fun dealing with all that, with the getting over with Bennett Foddy-style obstacle courses. I'm sure everyone loves them. He did it to troll, which, in my opinion, is extremely disrespectful of, like, the other 29 devs who put their heart and soul into this game. He even talked to his dev team, and they told him, dude, you need to fucking shut the hell up. Like, you are going to fuck this game over irreparably. And there's a reason it's on Game Pass, and people aren't just buying it. It's a $50 game as opposed to the usual AAA titles. It looks great, it plays great, but the moment you try to do anything outside of the main story, and there is, like, the optional content accounts for, like, half of the game. And it's basically impossible unless you install cheat codes to auto parry everything because the enemies don't give proper cues for when they're about to attack. So you have to sit there and spend like an entire day learning parry timings for each individual enemy. Mainly because they'll switch up their parry timings. Like, you know how in Metroid Dread the Emmy doesn't have a specific time that they always attack and you can counter them and get away? That's what they did with every single enemy in this game. And not only did they do that with every single enemy in this game, they made it so that the only way to possibly survive against any of the post-game or optional content, which again is half of the game, the only way to do it is to essentially be a tool-assisted speedrunner and frame perfect every single thing. And not only do you have to frame perfect every single attack, you have to be basically psychic and figure out when they're going to switch up their timing, which is completely random. There's nothing you can do about it. I really loved this game up until I finished the story and started doing the optional content. This game easily went from a 10 out of 10 to a 4 out of 10. If you're a completionist, if you're the kind of person who enjoys traditional JRPGs, this is not the game for you. Because the moment you finish the story, which again is literally only like 50% of the game, The moment you finish the story, all of the fun of this game is going to stop. Period. I remember watching Shady Penguins. I remember watching him fight Simon in his stream of this game. You should go check him out. He's a cool dude. But I watched him, and I could visibly see him getting, like, fucking super angry, which, that's how I know this game is dog shit when you get to the post-game and optional content, because Shady doesn't rage, but I could tell he wanted to throw his controller. Like, I could see it in his eyes. Don't buy this game. Play it on Game Pass. It is not worth your money if you want to actually play it. Do not, just get Game Pass for $20 and play it. And if it goes off of Game Pass, well, I guarantee you aren't missing much.